Hello Australia, welcome to another Big Couch. We have got a big show, Melbourne viewers. We have a very special guest that you'll all love and know. Stick around, I'll tell you who it is actually. I'll tell you now, James Liotta. He can't be with us today, but his mum, Maria Pappagallo, will be on the set with us today live. So stay with us. A great show coming up. Hypotheticals have got their debut show here in Perth. Nisha will be talking to them. Paul Elwyn is in talking about all the new movies in Talking Movies, Talking Entertainment with Alexander Sacosta. The guys are in for Millennium Kids talking about another great project. And of course, the Bitchin' team are here talking about all those news topics that you're talking about. Music-wise, Mars Garage are in. They sound a little bit like the Beach Boys. Stick around for that one as well. It's a Big Couch. 7:58 starts now.
It's showtime on the couch. It's showtime on the couch. You can see it from your house. You can see it from your house. It's showtime on the couch with Fred. And the best in town. You can see it from your house. Yeah, it's showtime on the couch. Oh, oh, oh.
Hello Australia, welcome to another Big Couch, a very special show today. One of my favourite personalities from Melbourne will be joining us very soon. Her name is Maria Pappagallo, good Italian name just like mine, and I'm taking the privilege of giving her plenty of time on the couch. So hopefully you'll stick around for that. It's coming up very soon. Can I also thank our viewers in C31 in Melbourne and also C44 in Adelaide. Thank you to all those viewers that write to us and want to be part of the show and are saying that they love it. But let's get straight into it. Let's cross live to Melbourne, and of course she's on the phone waiting to talk to us. It is of course Maria Pappagallo. Welcome to the couch. Oh, you're looking beautiful, Maria. Or is that me on the screen?
Hello, Fred.
Nice to have you, Maria.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Always a pleasure. Maria, what's the weather like in Melbourne today? Are you having some good times over there?
No, I would like to use some swear words, but I will not. But it's very bad, very cold, you know.
Very cold. Well, you're looking beautiful as always. Who does your makeup? I mean, do you have a stylist or do you do it yourself?
No, why? I can't afford that. I don't pay nobody for that stuff. I do all myself. Sometimes I make a mistake. I go up to the eye, then cross the other eye. Anyway, but I like to do it myself. It's the best way.
Now, you're not a TikToker that has to promote any of her makeup that she puts on her face.
Oh, no. I'm too old for the TikTok. TikTok is just for the clock on the wall. TikTok, and they got the little bell go, cuckoo, like that. But
yes.
No other TikTok for me, no.
Well, Maria, thank you for being on the show today. I'd like to ask you a few questions because a lot of people look up to you, Maria.
Yes.
And I know I've watched you on Instagram, I've watched you on Facebook. Now, cost of living. Now, of course, Shemel's not there anymore. We've got Albert Neasy. But I want to know, how are you coping with the cost of living?
Yes, well, what I do, Fred, it's very easy. When the bill comes to the house, I just don't pay. I don't pay nothing, you know. And they just chase you and chase you and chase you. But before they get to you, I'll be dead by then. So I don't worry. I don't just pay nothing. That's why I save the money, Fred. Everyone should do it.
That is a wonderful idea. And do you find going to the grocery store, are there any tips? Because I know you're a bit of an Aldi shopper. How do you save at Aldi and at Coles or Woolworths?
Well, Aldi is not. It's not as easy to save because you have to, check out with the person,
Yes.
But at the other one, it's easy because you just you don't beep everything. You only beep every second one.
Oh, what a wonderful
one for free,
idea.
one you pay. One for free, one you pay.
Well,
it's like a routine,
So you really do self-service?
Yeah, that's right. Just for myself.
Now, Maria, a little bit about you. Tell us, you're from Italy. Whereabouts in Italy are you from?
Yes. I am from Sicilia, from Catania. I immigrated with my husband in 1874. So I look very good for my age,
You do?
because of my makeup.
Now,
Yeah.
of course, your husband is Mr. Pappagallo, Pasquale Pappagallo. Where is he today? Is he sleeping, busy? Is he gone playing bowls? Is he at the pub?
I lock him up, Fred. I lock him up because when I like to do this kind of interview, he
Yeah.
tried to take over. And I always have to remind him, in the Italian family, the
Yes.
boss is always the woman, it's always the wife. So
And-
he's over there somewhere.
So when you look at the Me Too movement and all the political correctness in Australia, how do you get around that? Or have you already got that?
Well, I say you too, me too, everybody. It doesn't matter.
Very modern.
I don't, I'm a woman. I'm a modern woman. I don't like this me too, you too business. I don't even understand what it's all about.
Well, that's a good thing too. Weddings. I noticed I saw a video and you were giving some tips about weddings, and we've all been to Italian weddings. What's the story that you like to take a gift and maybe take a gift home?
Yes, that's right, Fred, because it's a tradition in the Italian wedding, even a Greek wedding, Maltese wedding, Lebanese wedding. It's a tradition. You get the bomboniere, Fred. You know the bomboniere,
That's
yeah?
right. The ones that we eat, the
You
almond,
get the
sugared almond.
bomboniere. That's right. The one you put on the shelf, nobody eat it, just to stay there for 2-3 years. Anyway, what I like to do is I take the bomboniere, then I
Yeah.
look around
Yeah.
the reception, and I see what else I can take as well. Sometimes I take the flowers.
Yes.
Sometimes I take the plates. I even take one chandelier one time. It's just here in my living room.
Well, I remember growing up in Italian, Calabrese, of course, and we used to love going to the weddings because we built up our wine stock. People never used to open the bottles and they used to take them home.
That's right, especially when you get the John Walker. The John Walker, the no bottle
Yes.
open on the table. Yeah, my husband, Pasquale, he's to take 2-3 bottles, and then what we do is we sell. We sell it from our garage. Big business, Fred, big business.
Do you use eBay or do you just open a garage sale?
Oh, no, you can't put that stuff on the computer because we don't pay the tax on that. So, no, nobody can know. Just one-to-one, private.
Talking about tax, I heard a story that your husband only paid $120 tax. Is that true?
It's true, Fred. You know lots about my husband.
Yes.
It's true. It was just it's a donation, Fred. It's just we call it the tax, and we said, how much you want? No, we can't give you that much. This year we give you $120. That's it, donation. Everyone should just give a donation for tax, no more.
Tell me something. You keep your house spotless as well. As a good Italian woman, you love to clean your house. What's the tradition that you use where you put aluminium around the whole kitchen?
Yeah, that's right. We like to put the aluminium foil on the stove, But I like to put everywhere. I put in the house, on the walls, on the bench, inside of the cupboard. I even put some inside of the microwave as well, You got to cover everything.
And that must be your son James, is it, that we just saw there? Very attractive young man.
Yes, that's right. That's my son James. He's stupid because he's 40 years old, still single, not married. He's bring a lot of shame to the family.
Yes.
That's why I like to take this picture of my son here. Because
Beautiful.
I try to give it to the woman, give it to the woman to
Yes.
see if maybe they like him because he has no luck.
What sort of woman is he looking for?
Just the one that's alive will be fine. That's,
so
just the...
His
Yes, Fred.
I was going to say his standards are not too high, which is good.
No, because he's too old now. When you get old, your standard must come down.
I think...
You can't beg and choose.
Very, very true. So you're not after an Italian woman? I know a lot of mothers that are Italian want Italian son to have Italian wife.
Oh, yeah, no, she must be Italian. Oh, yeah, no, she must be Italian. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Greek, all right, maybe Greek, it's not too bad, but better Italian,
Maria, do you speak any other languages or just Italian and a little bit of English?
I speak English, I speak Italian, I speak Sicilian, of course, because I'm a Sicilian, I'm a
Yes.
Sicilian, so
Yes.
I can speak the Sicilian, And but doesn't matter because I go around Australia, very multicultural, and I get along with everybody. You know.
No, I can see why. You're just an easy to get along with person. Your husband, Pasquale, how many years have you been married to him?
We've been married for at least 96 years now because we got married when we was about 5.5. And my husband, to be honest, he was only 4 years old and he liked an older woman. That's why he picked me. I was just 5.5. So
Well,
very long time. We don't be with anybody else. Just me and him together all our life.
Well, that surprises me. 96 years together. Is there a special gift? Is there a gift that you give when you get to 100?
Yeah. Yeah, you separate.
I thought you were going to.
It's too long.
I thought you were going to say resuscitation, but that's okay. Separation's still good.
You go separation, resuscitation,
Similar word.
Same thing.
Now, we were talking about your son, James. Now, he's got a show.
Yes.
He's a bit of a character. He's an MC. He does weddings. He does presenting. He's a bit of an actor. Can we build him up anymore? Is there anything else I've forgotten?
Oh, look, no, he does a lot of stuff around because, that's why he's got no wife, because he's got no time. He's very busy. Sometimes he does a little bit on the TV as well, but he make the people laugh, and he go to the club, he go to the theatre, and he's bringing a new show next year, and maybe I come along too so I can iron his underwear, you know?
Well, I tell you what, let's talk about that show now. It's called James Liotta 2024 National Solo Show. It's a tour all around Australia. We want people to go to his website, jamesliotta.com.au. We want people to sign up because we want to know how many people are interested. And it's basically, these are the dates that it's going to be around Australia. Here in Perth, it's going to be on June the 21st. Sydney, June 29. Adelaide, July the 6th. Brisbane, July 28. And then for Melbourne, July 27. I think we've got all those. jamesliotta.com.au to express your interest by registering. Have I got it all correct there, Maria?
That's perfecto, Fred, perfecto. Everyone should put the email down.
Yes.
And then when the ticket it's gone sale later in the year,
Yes.
then everyone can buy the ticket. So my son can have some money too because he's run out of money.
Now, just before you go, tell me about your son, Australia's Got Talent. Is that where he made his first stardom, first appearance on TV?
Well, not really, because my son had been on TV for a long time since he was a little child, you know. Like he was to do a lot of things on the TV. He was used to be on that show Blue Hill. You remember Blue Hill?
I do remember Blue Heelers.
The police one.
Yes.
Yeah, he was the dog. He was the dog on the Blue Hill show. So he was to do a lot of stuff. But this one here, Australia's Got the Talent, it was very big for him, a very good success. And I'm very proud, both for me and my husband, Pasquale, very proud of him. He does good work, you know.
Well, we look forward to catching up with James next time we have the time and it comes to Perth. But Maria, would you ever see yourself working on television? And is there a show that you could work on, like Bold and the Beautiful, maybe?
I'm working on a television right now with you, Fred. I'm on the couch.
And it's probably,
the
it's
Italian,
probably
we love the couch.
I love it as well. And I tell you what, it's probably the biggest television you'll be on for a while. Or the biggest host, anyway.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe one day they get me on the Neighbours. I think I'd be good on the show Neighbours because I like my neighbours.
Yes, I think you would be very good. You'd be a good neighbour. Just before you go, one more question. The Voice to Parliament is coming up, and I want you to tell me. So a lot of people out there are very confused about the Indigenous Voice to Parliament. How will you, as an Italian, be considering your options?
Well, I'm very upset about this, Fred, because I know it's very important for the indigenous people. I understand this, but what about the voice for Italian people? There's no voice anymore for the Italian people. We wanted the voice too, Fred.
I think you are right. I even made up a song. You're the voice, Maria. Try and understand it. Making noise.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, fantastic. Maria, you have
It's the one
been...
from a John Farnham, yeah?
Well, yes, John Farnham, very sensitive there as well. But can I just say to you, you are such a great talent. Look, can you say hello to James Zizzy and also Pasquale? And we would love to see you in Perth when you come in June with your son, because you'll probably be carrying the bags and counting the money, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah, I'm stronger than my son. Don't worry about that. But Fred, to you and everyone in the Perth for the couch, I thank you very, very much for this opportunity to speak with you. And I love to come there sometime and say hello.
Maria, grazie tanto. Buon viaggio. Arrivederci Roma. Can you leave me with a little bit?
Grazie.
Can you sing me a little bit of an Italian song?
Roma. Goodbye, Roma. That's it, because I used to sing well, but now I got a sore throat. I got the noodle, Fred.
Yes, I can see why your son is such a good talent on Australia's Got Talent. Maria Pappagallo, thank you for your time, and we look forward to meeting you next time on the couch. Thank you for being with us.
Ciao, everyone. Thank you. Grazie. Ciao.
Such a beautiful woman. I thought I was looking into a mirror. Time for some real music. We've got them next. They are five brothers on the couch. They're called Mars Garage, singing a beautiful song, Trust Your Heart. Here they are.
Trust your heart, it's your true friend. Trust your heart till the end. Trust your heart, it will lead you, take you home in the end. Trouble and strife, it can follow you, cut you like a knife, it can cut you in two. Trust your heart, it will lead you, take you home in the end. Even in the darkest night, even in the darkest night, everything will be alright, everything will be alright. Even if I should fade to grey, even if I should fade to grey, it won't matter anyway. Even in the darkest night, even in the darkest night, everything will be alright, everything will be alright. Even if I should fade to grey, even if I should fade to grey, it won't matter anyway. take you home in the end. Take you home in the end.
Thank you very much to Mars Garage and the Five Brothers, of course, the Minatulo brothers. Check them out. And if you want to book them, get in contact with us here at The Couch and we'll put you in touch with them. Time now to talk about a great debut show that's coming to Perth in 2023. It's called The Hypotheticals. Nisha has got the two creators. Over to you, Nisha.
Thank you, Fred. We know the arts can be a great gateway to talking about some of the serious topics and getting people to maybe seek some more support. And today I have on the couch the creators as well as the performers of this great show, The Hypotheticals. Welcome, Jeffrey and Sarah.
Thank you so much for having us today, Nisha.
Good day.
Absolute pleasure. You're both beaming and I'm very excited about this interview. We're talking about parenthood and this is a really big topic as a lot of us are in our 30s, heading into 40s, etc. And you are addressing this in Hypotheticals. Tell us about how you came up with this particular show.
Sure, yeah. Sarah and I made this work over a few years. We began at the end of 2018. We've been great friends since our early 20s, and when we reached our mid to late 30s, neither of us really had any options on the table to have a kid, and we thought, let's process this together by making a show about what it would be if we had a kid together. And that was the basis.
Right, and this is in 2018 and we're debuting now, so this has been quite a creative process.
Yeah, we actually premiered the show in Darwin 2 years ago, and then toured the show last year through the NT. But we are reimagining the work for Perth audiences, so it's a really fresh work. It's never been done quite like this before.
Okay, so never been done quite like this before. Help us understand, what do we expect when we come along to the show?
Well, this is a work that's told with our bodies. It's like physical theatre or like
dancing.
theatre.
We have a choreographer. We're working with Laura Boynes, who's an incredible choreographer. We do not identify as dancers, but we thought, wouldn't it be challenging and fun and maybe a little bit awkward if we got a choreographer to work with? So we did that, and it's been challenging, but it pays off.
Excellent. And with the topic parenthood, you mentioned you're doing it through the body, so your expression through the body. Why is that so important?
We have babies with our bodies. We grow people inside us with our bodies, and so what better way to kind of tell a story? And bodies are great. They're like funny and disgusting and beautiful, and we like explore all those parts of humanity and what it means to have a child.
I think there's another version of the show that maybe would be more traditional theatre, where we just sit down and tell the story, or we act it out in a more natural style. But we decided to go with the choreographer and the choreography is absolutely wacky. We're having fun, we're twisting up and down, we're shaking like our whole bodies are vibrating violently while we're trying to tell this story. And something about that, I think, makes the show really fun, makes the show really weird and abstract, but also gets the audience laughing and frees them up a little bit to think about some of these more complex issues that are actually sitting in the text.
And I love that. I think the safety that you provide. What's the feedback you've received so far?
Yeah, we've actually had a lot of people come to the show and seen it as a really great starting point to have conversations with people they're thinking about having children with, potentially outside of like a traditional construct of what society sees as like normal way to have a child in a like a heterosexual romantic relationship, because we're really looking at that as the primary idea of the show. Like, what happens if best friends have a child together?
Yeah. And having that like psychological flexibility, right, to know that there's not just one way. So you're kind of showcasing this on the stage.
Sure. I mean, you're taught kind of subconsciously and from birth that the right way to have a kid is through a romantic relationship. But when you think about it, romantic relationships break down way more often than friendships. Actually, friendships often far more stable. So we wanted to not pull the world apart, but make people question, why do we think the things that we think are normal are normal? We live in a world so far beyond our biology, so far beyond our instincts. Society is so different to what we've evolved to become. How can we respond to that in ways that, might provide a really exciting future?
Look, can certainly sense from what you've just said there and off air as well that you guys have both comprehensively considered this. What are some other questions that are answered in there as well?
Well, I don't think anything is answered, but a lot of questions are posed.
Yeah.
How about having children in the world today? Is that the right thing to be doing?
Yeah.
The world is on fire. Is it the right decision to be bringing children into this world?
I mean, it is literally right now. We're opening this new version of the show this Saturday night. Right now, this is the hottest week that it's ever been. Every human born is a burden on the planet. And I know that that's a major downer, but it is something you genuinely need to think about. We need to think about what should the population be and what is your personal part in that. Should you just take it for granted that it's okay to have kids? How many kids should any person have? This all comes in, and I know that sounds so heavy, but we actually try and deal with it in a light-hearted way. We try and deal with it in a fun way so people can get into those questions and ask them for themselves.
Well done, because it's certainly a topic that is really required to be addressed, and it sounds like you're doing it in a really safe and open way as well. Where can people get tickets?
Tickets can be bought through the www.thelastgreathunt.com website
Fantastic.
or the State Theatre website.
Yeah, the Arts and Culture Trust website has them.
Wonderful. So thelastgreathunt.com, and then obviously the dates that we've got here as well. Saturday the 29th of July to Saturday the 5th of August in 2023. The Studio Underground State Theatre Centre of WA, which is absolutely beautiful if you haven't been there before. Definitely look these guys up on Facebook. We'll have all the details on thecouch.com.au. But well done, guys. Looking forward to seeing it.
Great, thanks so much for having us.
Thank you.
Absolute pleasure. If you've missed any of that, I've given out our website. It's back to you now, Fred.
Thank you very much, Nita. Sounds like a modern take on an old story or way of life. Sounds like an interesting show to go and watch as well. Please support them. Check out their website. We're going to take a break. Talking Movies is next with Paul Elwin. Stick around. You're watching The Couch. Welcome back to The Couch. Always great to talk new movies that are coming up with all the strikes in America. We've got 5 great movies that should not be affected. Let's talk to the man who knows.
These movies are definitely going ahead. Most of these are really scary, so I'm guessing it's coming up to the scary time of year, but there's a few scary ones here. Not so many kind of comedies, but yeah, mostly scary.
I saw a scary movie the other day. It was all pink, and I think it was called Barbie. Very scary.
I think you weren't in Oppenheimer, you were in Barbie, so
Yes.
yeah, you might have gone the wrong movie.
The only good thing about Barbie compared to Oppenheimer is that it wasn't 3 hours. I believe Oppenheimer is about a 3 hour.
It goes for a while, but it's quite a stretch, but there's a big bang at the end, so in
I look
Oppenheimer.
forward to that
yeah,
then.
it's atomic.
Now, you've got 5 great movies.
These are great. These are coming
out
out very soon. 27th of July. The first one we got is from the awesome, mysterious A24 studios, who do a lot of really cool horror films and a lot of sort of indie-looking kind of films. This one, it's an Aussie production. It's called Talk to Me. You and your friends have encountered an embalmed hand, and when you tell it to talk to you, it tells you what's happening in the other realm. Is it coming from hell, or what's going on? Yeah, fully Aussie cast in this. Supporting it, we've got Marcus Johnson and Miranda Otto playing kind of the adults, but this is all about the kids, the teenagers, doing all these hijinks
the
with
hand?
this mysterious embalmed hand, and you hold onto it and you say, talk to me, and the hand takes you to another realm or something. Or is it taking you... is it taking you into hell, or is it taking you into a nightmare? It's pretty scary.
So
and
is it a little bit like Thing from the Addams Family?
Yeah, kind of. It moves,
Yeah.
and it's pretty scary. But as soon as it holds onto you, it takes people into different zones or something.
Now, it's Australian made. I wonder if the
Aussie
hand
made.
is Daryl Summers.
Yeah, probably.
You take whatever you can get.
Yeah, it
these
looks
days.
like it. But
It
it's
does
a
look interesting.
Directorial debut from these two brothers, Danny and Michael Filippo.
What
And-
else have they done in the past?
Well, they actually have a really strong social media following, because they actually put short movies and such on social media, and a lot of views and really cool ideas that they put there.
Okay.
And this is the first one that's come into fruition. Which
Well, I guess
was
when you
awesome.
look at things like Saw, that
Yeah,
that
started
was an
small
Australian.
budget and then comes
Yeah.
big. But this is great that A24 are on
Beautiful.
board with this and put this together. So Talk to Me out on the 27th of July.
Now, Meg 2, the
Meg
Trench.
2. So we're going to need a massive boat for this one, but it's the Megalodon, the huge shark back in 2018. our Fast and Furious friend Jason Statham was chasing a huge shark, and guess what? They
got
found
one.
some more. It did well in the cinema. So this is out on the 3rd of August. It's just a huge shark. It's Jason Statham basically hunting down this huge shark and crazy encounters with it, and this shark just goes on a rampage again. Yeah, a lot of fun. So this is The Meg 2, The Trench, and that's coming out on the 3rd of August. It's your fun creature feature kind of movie, a few scares in the cinema, and it's just crazy to see like a shark that big, I guess.
Isn't it funny? It's like Jaws coming back again, isn't it? In a sense, in a new modern world.
Yeah, this is kind of Jaws, but it's done in like an almost cartoonish way, but it kind of looks cool. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, and all the Jason Statham fans, action fans, will like this as well. So that's
Sounds
the
good.
Meg 2, yeah.
Meg 2 comes out on...
The 3rd of August, yeah.
3rd of August. Thank you very much.
So we're going to keep going with the scary stuff. And
Yep.
so out of the whole book of Bram Stoker's Dracula, there's one chapter in there which is the captain's log, which is how the boat came from Carpathia to London. And when it was in Carpathia, there was people on board, and when it arrived in London, there was nobody on
See, I
board.
like the theme.
Yeah. So this one, it's out on the 10th. It's Dracula: Voyage of the Demeter. Demeter was the Russian schooner which had these 24 unmarked wooden crates on them. No one knows where they came from or how they arrived in the boat. And obviously, this is going to show you, I guess, what happens to them. And of course, it's Dracula, so this is a Dracula tale. So you know that it's going to be a vampire, or maybe more vampires are appearing in this. Awesome cast note on this one. We've got Liam Cunningham from Game of Thrones. He plays the captain, so he's like a really old, surly, like bearded captain in this. And David Dastmalchian, who's from Dune and Suicide Squad's in this. And of course, he has to have a beard in this. Pretty much nearly everybody has a beard in this. But obviously, Dracula
the pirate
doesn't.
thing.
It's the pirate thing. We're all out on the sea, and yeah, it looks cool. It's a mystery
does look
kind of
good.
thing, and yeah, just scary
I'm
as.
surprised Johnny Depp's not in it.
No, well, he's probably not acting for a little while, I guess.
probably not
still
for
sorting
a
out lawsuit things and such.
Correct.
Yes. So from that, we got our first like rom-com here. We've got on the 15th of August. It Only Takes a Night. It's a rom-com that's actually filmed completely in Perth.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So all of the scenes in this, you just watch it. Just watching the trailers, going, wait a sec, I've seen these places and everything. So yeah, it was all filmed completely in Perth, Fremantle area.
Now, who put this together? I know it's Myriad Movies, but who is that? Who's behind it?
It's
director?
like through, I think, Screen Australia and everyone else. But
Screenways.
Eliza Taylor's in this. She's mostly well known from her early days in Neighbours, but also she was in a show called The 100, which she did quite well in. And in this, she's actually co-executive produced this and stars in it. The weird thing is, it's about four best friends that go out one night, and obviously some strange things happen, or something happens in their relationships with each other, and it all changes. The weird thing is, Eliza Taylor, Aussie actress, but she's actually putting on a British accent in this one.
Of course.
It sounds okay. It's like, a few words sound a bit funny, but I think she does a good job of it. So yeah, that's It Only Takes a Night, which is out on the 15th of August. That's your rom-com,
I
everyone.
found that the English accent is because they're probably selling it to England as well as the
Yeah,
telemovie.
so it'll be popular in Australia, and then they sell that out.
in the
and-
telemovie format.
Yeah, so that's kind of trying to do the whole
Well, I
Notting Hill
look
thing.
forward to that. And what was the actress from Neighbours?
That's Eliza Taylor. So she started very young in Neighbours, but then after that she mainly was on a huge hit show it's a sci-fi show called The 100, where she's the main character in that, and that did really well. So from
That's
that
where she's got her successes.
yeah.
And our last movie today,
Our last movie
Strays.
out
This
on the
is good as
17th
well.
of the 8th. Do you remember when you were younger, you were watching films like Air Bud and
Yes.
Cats and Dogs,
Yes.
where the dogs were like talking and it was just like computer generated, and everyone's like, how do they make the dogs talk and do that? All right, so this was pretty funny, and I was almost going to let my kids watch the trailer, but it's actually rated MA because they swear a lot.
And drink
so
a lot.
I told my kids, like, yeah, you can't watch this. It's strays. So what happens is, a stray dog has an owner who's just horrible to him. He ends up escaping, but then he kind of recruits a lot of other stray dogs, and they said, what are you going to do? You can go and live your life. And he goes, no, I want to take revenge on my owner. So he recruits a whole bunch of other stray animals. The mission is to go back and just pick on his owner. Huge cast in this
Yes.
one. We've got Sofia Vergara in this one. She's actually one of the main characters in this. So this is a lot of her like funny Cuban accent in
Jamie
it.
Foxx.
Will Ferrell's in this. We've got Jamie Foxx. He plays a really cool like pug kind of dog. Isla Fisher's in this, and she has her Aussie accent in this, which is really good. Yeah, Will Forte plays the owner. Josh Gad is in this as well, and Rob Riggle as well. And so some really noticeable voices in this.
Was I right in reading there that it's from the makers of 21 Jump Street as well?
Yeah. So what it is it's written by the same guys. So there's a lot of that kind of humour in there. So if you did like 21 Jump Street, the humour in that, it's all through this. But the funny thing is you get Will Ferrell and all of these comedians doing voices for dogs. And my favourite's Jamie Foxx. He does the voice for this dog
He's
so
been in the
well.
news lately. He hasn't been very well, has he? He's just
Jamie Foxx,
yes.
yeah.
So it'll be good to see him in this movie.
Yeah.
And something to look forward to. I think it looks like probably one of the best movies there today.
It's a lot of fun, and that's out on the 17th of August.
Not
That's
long
Strays.
to wait.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the top 5 movies around Australia as they are rated.
Yes.
Let's go from number 5 to 1.
Top 5 movies now. Number 5, we've got Insidious, The Red Door. Number 4, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. That's doing so well. Number 3 from Disney Pixar is Elemental. Number 2, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. And of course, number 1, Tom Cruise's kicking butt.
Mission Impossible.
Dead Reckoning Part 1 is doing
That's
really
very
well.
popular. And I know one of our crew members has gone twice. He loved it that much in a week.
Well,
Watched it
that's a
one
lot of
week, went
action,
back
yeah.
again. He loved it.
Cool.
And it wasn't for the free popcorn, he's told me.
Oh, no, it would have been for the
absolutely
action in the
loved
movie, yeah.
Paul, thank you very much.
Thanks, Fred.
Thanks for being with us today. We'll see you when we return from our break. We're having a month off. Paul will be back doing streaming and movies. Thank you again.
Thanks, Fred.
Have a nice break,
Yeah.
and we'll talk to you soon. We'll take a break on the couch. We're talking to online Millennium Kids, a great segment, and we've also got a wonderful segment with our very own Alexander Sacosta. Stick around on the couch. Welcome back to the couch. Time to talk entertainment, and the man who entertains us every fortnight is back. Alexander Sacosta, welcome back.
Thank you, Fred. Always
Now,
a pleasure to
I
be
get
here.
asked a question. How on earth do you make time for all the things that you do, Alexander?
Fred, I subscribe to the philosophy that if someone asks me to do it, I'll be there. I'll find a way.
But what about your entertainment career? That's your private life.
That's my Who told you about that? I use a different name.
Rumour has it. No, but it's just amazing. I've seen you on nearly every single movie preview. If people haven't, follow him on Instagram, follow him on Facebook, Alexander Sacosta. Go to his website and link to him, because you do a lot of movie reviews.
Yes.
You do a lot of show reviews.
Yep.
You do some work with Seven. You
Yes.
do some work on 6PR. I
Yes.
heard you the other night.
Yes.
Is there anywhere you haven't worked yet that you'd like to formally tell people you're available?
Well, I am available. I have still like a small window, I think about 10 minutes,
Yeah.
maybe in like 4 a.m. in the morning. So if there's someone who wants to fill 10 minutes at 4 a.m., call me.
As long as you don't mind him being asleep at that time.
Yes, I'll kind of just, it'll be like ASMR. It'll just be like breathing.
I think you must be one of the hardest working presenters, actors, and just general everything, marketing here in Perth. 'Cause
You're going to make me cry, Fred.
well, that's the outcome. It improves ratings.
I'll cry on camera, zoom in.
But look, I'll go back to your entertainment. You've got some great stories
Yes,
today.
let's get into
Now,
it.
what's happened with Joe Manganiello?
That's right. So him and Sofia Vergara have announced they are getting divorced. So this is
I
after
didn't even
7
know they
years
were
together.
married.
Yeah, that's Hollywood for you, right? People were like, they were married. She's from Modern Family, as we can see there with Ed
Well, I
O'Neill.
thought she was married to Ed O'Neill. See how wrong I was?
Hey, for that price that they paid for episode, anyone would marry Ed O'Neill. That's her and her husband. Apparently, they started to live quite separate lives. So
Why?
her career's sort of really taken off. She's one of the judges on America's Got Talent. She's touring all around. He was in Magic Mike 1, Magic Mike 2, didn't come back for the third one.
I didn't recognise the body.
Well, apparently she was saying that she dyed her hair to be
Yeah.
brown for the show. She's actually a
Really?
blonde. Yeah.
Do you know what? I have to say, Sophia is a legend. I absolutely love her. And every movie, every show, she's the same character.
Yeah.
And that's what I love
it's like
about her.
authentic. There's something like you believe if you met her, she'd actually be quite like that.
I think so. I think
Fun
she would.
and yeah. So sad, but very Hollywood for another.
It's come to an end.
Come to an end.
And
See, hot
the
people
thing.
can't make it work.
Do you know
guys.
what? As well, they live such separate lives. They're both busy people. They grow apart.
It's hard.
So you know what? She's available if you're in the market.
Those 10 minutes.
Yep. That's probably all you need. Mandy Moore, she's
Mandy Moore.
revealing shockingly
So Hollywood is basically
low
on strike.
pay.
Yeah, so Mandy Moore was talking about, as someone who's a very established actress, and we can see there, that she was getting these tiny residual checks, because when you've been on shows, you continue to receive money afterwards.
Oh, when they rerun shows
That's right,
and stuff
for
like
how
that.
long, if they bring it on a new network, then you get more. And she was saying that even her, who had quite a prominent role in
Correct.
This Is Us, was still receiving tiny things, because after management takes a percentage, your agent takes a percentage, your lawyer takes a percentage, you're ending up with very minimal money. So we like to hear these big, oh my gosh, they got like $2 million on Friends per episode, but you've got to take into account there's a lot of working actors,
Overheads,
90%
yeah.
of the working actors who are on basically less than you would get working at like another job.
And am I right in hearing that writers are going on strike
The
as well?
writers were the
actors
first
are on
ones. The
strike.
writers went on strike, and then SAG-AFTRA
Yep.
went on strike as well. A lot of people didn't realise Fran Drescher was head of the Actors
Well,
Union.
I must admit, someone said to me, actually, they didn't realise she was working for like 40 years, and I thought
Yeah.
she's running the union.
There you go.
Which,
So-
and look, she's a fabulous person to be running that as well,
A good
because
advocate.
she is well known as the
Yeah,
nanny.
yeah.
And I think, look, well done. I hope they get what they need.
I hope so. And it's not that they're trying to be greedy, but you're looking at the profits that have been made by these studios, particularly with streaming services now, and that stuff with AI talking
Yep.
about we'll take images and then virtually create
Use
crowds, then all the extras lose their work as well. So
Correct.
as an industry, they make money. As usual, the creatives.
Yep.
We make money off the creatives and then,
Look, good luck. And a lot of our Australian programs or American programs shown here in Australia, they have plenty of content to keep them going for a while. So Bold and the Beautiful won't end, unfortunately, and a lot of those sort of drama shows. But you can always switch to Australian programs. Now, talking about Australian, we have got a
Yes.
great
The
comedian,
Logies.
Sam Penn.
Sam Pang.
Now, Pang, sorry. He's on, I love watching him on...
Have you been paying attention?
Yes, on
Very
the quiz
funny
show.
on there. And the front bar.
He's very funny, actually.
He's very funny because he makes fun. He has fun without making fun. Like
people,
it doesn't
yeah.
feel like it's he's been so hurtful and political. But he likes to like poke the bear a bit, and like when they bring guests on, he's more than happy to say.
Well, isn't it funny? He's never done anything like this. They've never noticed him. And
No.
now Channel 7 have got the Logies this year.
Yes, that's right.
And for the first time, it's now back at Channel 7
Yeah.
permanently. I think they've got the
Yeah.
contract with the
next,
Logies.
30,000 years.
And he's going to host the whole thing.
Yeah. So it'll be nice to have a host again, and I think he's the perfect person
How
because
do you
he's a
reckon
bit
it's
of
going
a.
to change?
I feel like that these shows don't change that much when you really think about it. I mean,
Do you reckon they're very scripted?
Oh, 100%. Everything has to be approved, and can't say this because this is our sponsor, can't say that. So I think it'll be nice to have a bit of personality in the host, but I don't.
Well done to
I wouldn't
Sam
expect-
Peng. And can I just say as well,
There he is there.
congratulations to Dr. Chris Brown.
Oh,
and
yes, he'll be on the red carpet, I believe,
Sonia
for the
Kruger,
Logies
they're going to be
together.
hosting together.
That's right.
So well done. There
Everyone's
he is
jumping
there.
over to 7.
Yeah, they are, and hopefully the money will last, and they can stay at 7 or get a bus fare back to the hotel. But no, look, well done. Good luck to Channel 7 with the Logies. Hopefully all the 9 programs win, which
Well, there
should
you go.
make it worthwhile on 7. So there you go. There's the 2 hosts of the red
Looking
carpet
very
as well.
sharp. Look at those two.
I must admit, I think Dr. Chris Brown made the right move because, for those people who didn't know, Channel 10 had them on the living room. Then they put it on hold for a year or two. But those people like the hosts of that show, they don't get paid residuals. They don't get paid contracts.
No.
They basically hang around. You never know what might happen.
And you're not
so
allowed to
I'm
work
glad to
anywhere
see
else.
Chris Brown gone. I believe they've made a really good offer to the lady that was hosting with him, Julia Morris. And I believe the cook that's still
Miguel
on the living
Maestro.
room. He may have his own
He's
show.
in
very
Perth at
soon.
the moment for
Correct.
the Good Food and Wine Expo.
So good luck to them all, and we'll look forward to seeing Sam on the Logies very, very soon. When are the Logies? Do we know?
It's in the next couple of weeks.
Oh,
Isn't
so
it?
very
Yeah.
soon. I'll let you know. So if you don't watch Channel 7, I'll let you know because I know a lot of people don't watch 7. What's happening to Miranda Lambert? She's
Miranda
upset.
Lambert. So she had a concert, and she had some people in the front row who were using their phone to take selfies during the concert, and she actually calls them out during the concert, and it went viral across social media. And people are taking both sides. They're saying, really, you should be present when you go see a concert and respect the artist and not be obsessed with taking photos. But their response is, well, we paid for these VIP tickets. If we want to take a selfie or photos and videos, we're allowed to. Because it's not that there was anything in the ticket that said you're not allowed to.
Yeah, I find that a bit hard to understand. If you pay for VIP, you're paying a lot more money.
Yes.
What's wrong with that? And if you don't want them to have their phones
Then
out or
say
cameras,
it, yeah.
you tell them no
And
cameras, no phones.
and they get put in those little pouches before you come in.
So I think she was wrong.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think it
And
says a lot.
a nice Perth guy, Drew Anthony,
Drew
of course.
Anthony sat
What's he
down for a
doing?
little chat with him. He's putting on a chorus line there at the Royale Theatre. Definitely something if we want to support some fantastic local artists who I saw Chicago there. It was fantastic. The level is international standards. So we've got wonderful theatre happening right here in Perth as well. So definitely go out
Chorus
and support.
line coming soon.
Chorus line
Please
about all
support
those
it.
actors. I hope
And-
they get it. Remember that song?
Yes, I do. And I've watched Chorus Line over in Sydney. Wonderful show. show. What's hot or not?
Hot or not this week, Fred, is obviously Barbie is hot. Barbie is everywhere. Pink everything.
Yes.
Pink burgers, pink drinks, pink everything.
No,
Barbie is hot this
The
week.
marketing role for that show would have been fantastic.
100%.
Pink everywhere, great food. You can even get pink waffles at events, popcorn, caramel pink popcorn drinks as well, martinis. Go down and have a look at the movie if you haven't already. Your website, if people want more information, because they all want to follow you.
AlexanderSacosta.com. That's me. Or check me out on Instagram.
There it is on screen. Thank you, Alexander. We'll see you
you,
when we
Fred.
come back from holidays.
Looking forward to
in
it.
a few weeks' time. That is Entertainment with Alexander Sacosta. Please follow him on Instagram and Facebook and all his social media, and you'll learn a lot as well. He's on step with all the entertainment. We'll take a break. More coming up. Bitchin' right after this.
Connect with The Couch online through Facebook, Instagram and YouTube.
Welcome back to The Couch. Always nice to talk Millennium Kids. They do some amazing work for the environment. And today is no different. We've got two special guests, and Nisha has the privilege of talking to them. So over to you, Nisha.
Wonderful. Thank you, Fred. And great friends of The Couch, Millennium Kids. And they've been around for over 27 years. And this is testament to that because we have a MK alumni in our ranks now. Welcome, Kate.
Thank you. We're so happy to be here.
And James as well. Welcome.
Yes.
So this is multi-generational. Kate, tell us about your experience with MK and all your change-making experiences.
Yeah, so I first became involved with Millennium Kids when I was 14, so that's 22 years ago, and I was elected by my school to go to the Millennium Kids Conference. At that conference there was kids from around Perth, from the eastern states, as well as the countries like Canada, South Africa, Indonesia and Malaysia. And we all came together to discuss environmental issues and then take the skills that we learnt at the conference back to our hometowns to run environmental projects there. So many fantastic memories.
Gosh, so 22 years, there must have been a lot of change over that time.
Yeah, there has been. There's been a lot of change in regards to like plastic bags and bottles now being 10 cents. To forget the 10 cents for the bottles. Yeah. But in other areas, in regards to climate change, there's still a lot of work to do.
We have a lot to do. And with 3 children, James being one of those, obviously you want James to get involved. Why is that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that for kids in particular, from kids when we were talking to back when I was 14 to kids that we're talking to now, one of the biggest concerns they have is the environment, it's the future, it's climate change. And my kids are expressing those concerns as well. They're worried about the trees that are being knocked down. They're worried about the fact that native animals don't have the same homes that they used to have. So I really thought it was important for my kids to get involved and learn some amazing skills.
Yeah, climate change, climate anxiety is a real thing, isn't it? We're seeing that reported more and more. What types of projects were you involved in when you were at MK?
Well, I was actually involved with Millennium Kids employed with Millennium Kids after I finished uni as well. So I worked on a whole range of projects across all the pillars of sustainability. We worked on the Travel Smart to School program, which encouraged children to walk, ride and catch public transport to school. We ran clean-up days and tree planting days. I hosted my own radio show on community radio in regards to the environment and kids as well.
Have you listened to that one?
Oh,
yes. That's where they met.
Where? Who met? Your mum and
dad.
Oh, how sweet! What a love story.
Tell you the story.
So Millennium Kids was a part of your marriage now.
Absolutely. And so we've done a whole range of things, even a surfing competition down in Esperance with kids who were worried about the oceans and worried about beaches. Yes. So we've done a whole spectrum of projects.
Yeah, and look, we've seen that with Millennium Kids, haven't we? I know Fred's smiling as well because we look at the fact that we want to do things as opposed to just talk about them,
Absolutely.
Right? So in terms of James's involvement now, is that a key part of having James and your other kids involved in the future?
Absolutely. We decided, the kids were expressing their worries about the environment, so we invited them along. And James, you have been along to 2 now. Can you say what you've been involved in?
Yeah, I've been involved in two projects, and it was very fun. The first one was in Piney Lakes, where I learned about the oblong turtle, and I got a canvas. I got given a canvas, and I drew and painted a oblong turtle, and after a couple of years it got put in a art exposition. And then the second one was where I went to the
we went down to Como Beach, didn't we?
Como Beach, and we brainstormed what we should make the world be in 2071, and
drum roll.
What plans did you have? What plans did you have for Como Beach?
I plan to knock down the freeway and make a underwater, silent, see-through glass freeways, and like it could be a dome, so like all like the wildlife can like jump over it.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible because we talked with Indigenous elders, we looked at the past, and then the kids were able to envision their future. And so because of that freeway, what is it like down at the Freeway Beach? Do you remember?
It's very loud, and the smell is a bit disgusting.
Yeah, all those toxic fumes. Yeah. So you had great plans to sink the freeway and then to create a beautiful landscape there for us to all to play and enjoy the river, create that connection as well.
Yeah, look, that's amazing, James. Just hearing you talk through that, I'm sure you're inspiring a lot of our young viewers as well, and hopefully inspiring some of our older viewers. Kat, who is the founder and obviously leader at MK, talks about ageism not being a thing at all, and this is why, right? This is so important because the ideas you have are brilliant, and I can see that happening if I'm still alive by then, hopefully. Fantastic. So I guess just one final question for you, James. Would you encourage other youngsters to get involved in Millennium Kids?
Yes.
Yeah?
I think they should.
So you'll be their friend when they come along, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Very friendly fellow. Thank you so much, James. Full of great ideas. One of our great young innovators there. And thank you so much, Kate, for coming on the show. And yeah, well done. Gosh, multi-generation. Good endorser. Where do people find out more or get engaged with Millennium Kids?
Sure. If they'd like to be involved with Millennium Kids, the best place to contact them is online, www.millenniumkids.com.au, and also on Facebook and Instagram. So there's lots of different avenues.
Wonderful. And everyone knows you now, so I'm sure they can contact you and ask for 22 years of advice. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, James. It's a great idea. It's the best idea I've heard for a while. So if you missed any of that, you can go to thecouch.com.au of course, our Facebook page. But for now, it's back to you, Fred.
Thank you, Nisha. And Kate, just before we go, are there some workshops happening with Millennium Kids that they're operating at the moment?
Yeah, there's a whole range of workshops.
Can you tell us how people get involved with those and what sort of workshops are coming up?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of the different workshops are being facilitated in different local government areas, and all the information is listed on the website.
So if people want to get involved, don't be lazy, get on the website, millenniumkids.com.au, and all the details are there on the workshops. Thank you very much. Thank you to Nisha, and thank you to you as well, James. Do you want to work in TV in the future? Yeah, well, you never know. You're sitting right next to the master, next to you, Nisha. Well done. Thank you very much to all the team from Millennium Kids. And I look forward to having the whole family on the couch very soon as well. Look out, Kat. You never know. No room for Kat on the couch. We'll take a break. Alexander Sacosta's coming up right after the break. See you then.
Connect with The Couch online through Facebook, Instagram and YouTube.
Welcome back to The Couch. Time to play some bitchin' with our team. Let me introduce the bitches. Ted Bull, Jen Merrigan and Sharon Atwood. Welcome to The Couch, everybody.
Nice to be here, Freddie.
Thank you, Fred. You're all welcome. Thank you very much. Ted, what's on the agenda for you?
Well, I'm really bitching because I'm having a sabbatical from Facebook, and let me tell you why. It has nothing to do with the Looney Tune who said I should vote no because otherwise we'll be a communist state.
Yep.
No one has told Putin about this, by the way. And it has nothing to do with my puppy friends overseas who said, Ted, we're not playing real cricket. Where's the spirit of the game? Labuschagne should have walked.
I do love your thespian side.
Yes, yeah. And then, of course, there's my wonderful right-wing friends in Melbourne who have got their applications in for the Melbourne Club who say, Dan the man should be done away with. But it's nothing to do with that. I'm sick of people correcting my spelling and my punctuation. Well, look, they're supposed to be friends. I asked them to be my friend. They asked me to be their friend.
Give me an example. What sort of
well,
correction?
Okay, here's an example. I mentioned, probably
You're not lying about
this.
your age again,
Okay,
are you?
no. Tony Jones, doing the tennis over in England, described the tennis player as having a penchant for tattoos. So I went, penchant for tattoos, and I forgot to put the second T in the tattoos. So one of my dearest friends who I love said, Ted should be T-A, and I thought, go whatever yourself, because really, I'm about content.
Don't you hate that?
Yes. Now, look, I
Just
know...
enable spell check on your phone.
Well,
is that really a spelling mistake, Bob?
Oh, you're so good to have around, Jen. See, because you're a journo. You know these things. I'm just an old jock.
I'm just amazed the amount of people that actually sit around the social media waiting for you to slip up so they can correct you.
Yeah.
And it's done instantly, isn't it?
Because it's social media. It's so social.
It's a social thing.
Yes.
I mean, I know that I spent over 50 years, some people say 50 years the same time over, broadcasting, so therefore I was criticised for mistakes I made, but in those situations, you've got to be grateful. I mean, I'm happy that I say genealogy now, not genealogy, because someone corrected me.
Correct.
And I wish that some of our football commentators wouldn't describe players being dour when it's doer, but that's public. I mean, Facebook is, it's friends.
I'll tell you
chums.
something that happened to me. I go to Bali a lot. Like a few years ago, I went to Bali, Chandidasa, a little southern suburb, and I met these two young ladies at the hotel called Ping and Pong. So I said, these are my friends, Ping and Pong. And someone wrote to me and said, you're being racist. I said, no, that's their names. So they're the sort of people that are on the social media thinking that everybody's doing things on purpose, everybody can't spell.
Keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
Everyone's got something to learn.
I have dropped friends. I have recently. I've said, Pip, don't want to know you. And as I said, I'm having a break.
Yep.
Although I love Jaws at the opera.
So you've
with
signed
my friend
up.
Verity.
So have you signed on as a different name now? You're using a new
Or you're just using Jules.
Fred Mafrica.
Oh, beautiful. Now I know who it is.
Just using
Can I ask a
Jules.
quick... Sharon, what do you reckon about these people, these keyboard warriors?
100%. I'm a fan. I think if there's context, let it go. I don't need my spelling corrected.
You're my kind of woman.
It's if you can gather what I'm trying to say, then just let me say it. And,
If it attracts
and,
people to your posts, isn't that what we're after?
well, sometimes we do it. I mean, in the old days we used to do it on purpose to get a bit of attention.
And
So
Jen, you're a journalist and you run a newspaper. Does that annoy you when people spell things badly?
It does, but I would never, ever comment on it.
Do you make mistakes?
I read everything before I post it.
Then that's your job.
Yeah, and then if I have made a mistake, I go back and edit it.
There you
But
go,
you're
Ted.
the written word.
Yeah.
And that's the way you would be. And
Exactly.
that written word is for the public.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
And I
Facebook's
can imagine if you didn't
Yeah.
check your spelling, people would bag the
Yeah,
newspaper. and it would
absolutely,
flow onto
absolutely.
everything
And
else.
we've got a pretty clean newspaper.
Yeah.
Oh, you've got a great
So Ted
newspaper.
is off social media. Don't bother looking for him. He's having a break.
Especially the Looney Tunes.
And lay off trying to correct everybody else's mistakes. Let people be human. Jen, what's your story?
Okay, I'm going to talk about The Voice today because it's become a
We'll
very...
try and understand it.
Yes, I keep wanting to sing that song, I tell you, but I want people to watch. It's become a really contentious issue. First of all, I think there should be two questions. I think the first question should be, should we recognise Indigenous Australians in the Constitution?
Yep.
And then the second one about The Voice, because if you do that, it's
At
going
least one
to...
of them will get through, if
One of them will get through, because everyone wants to recognise Australian Indigenous people in the Constitution. I don't think anyone will argue about that.
It's been stuffed up, the whole public relations on this, and I don't think it was intentional. I think the Prime Minister's...
I think there's a lot of intent there, mate.
Look, the Prime Minister's heart's in the right place. I just think that the problem that I see is he's now on this crusade where he can't be seen to be wrong, and he won't back down. And I think I agree with you. I had callers last night on 6PR where we talked about, I've been talking about this for months. The question should have been, do you approve of recognising Indigenous Australians as our First Nations people in the Constitution? That's it. The voice to Parliament should have been done by legislation.
Yes.
And I would have done it for 2 years as a trial, tried all the committees, all the appointments.
So what do you think about that Liberal member? Because there are Liberal members for.
Absolutely.
Who said, let's hold it off for a little
Yes,
while.
I would have done that because
and he's a Liberal member.
it gives you hope.
Yeah, he's
because
pro.
if we tried it for 2 years with legislation, so bring in all the stuff that can help the Indigenous people, let them have their feedback. So you do it all, but you do it through legislation or constitution. Then if it works, after 2 years the public can say, well, that worked all right. Let's now vote for it.
Oh, gee, I'm not game now to call myself Fred Mafrica on Facebook. I'll get a lot of trouble over that one, Fred.
I think that I agree with you. I think there's in the next couple of weeks we're going to receive yes and no pamphlets, and you know the conversation had a look at this and said, do they still serve a purpose? Well, we're living in a democracy, and it's up to the Australian Electoral Commission to provide both sides of the information.
The polls now show that only 30% of Australians support it. That's a big drop. Only 2 states support it. That's a big drop. And I'm not saying it, I think, unfortunately, the Indigenous people are being caught up in this, and I feel sorry for them because I know that there's so many of them that want this to happen. But I think the Prime Minister should basically pull the plug, go and have a meeting with the opposition leader, ask him what it will take to get them at least 50% on side. I think Australians love to see our politicians united on this. And if there was some sort of consensus, some sort of agreement, those people that vote Liberal would say, well, if our leader wants it as well, it can't be all that bad. There needs to be, stop rushing on this. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
There's also the politicisation of this,
I agree.
from Dutton.
And you've got Indigenous people.
Well,
they're politicians.
All of them. Everyone's politics.
But it does feel rushed as well.
Yeah, and I've heard some Aboriginal people who are not for the voice because they feel like they're actually going to be forgotten in the whole process.
Well, Lydia Thorpe made the point, and I think for those people in the community that don't want Aboriginal people to have money or power or anything, Lydia Thorpe said it. The reason she's not supporting it, there's no power, there's no treaty, there's no land.
Say something about Lydia Thorpe. When this is all over, what do you think will happen to Lydia Thorpe?
She'll be unemployed. She'll be unemployed and she'll be looking for work with the Greens again. Sharon, your story?
Might complete change of pace, but recognising the Mount Gambier Shire and their library system has created a library of things in Adelaide to help with the cost of living crisis. You can hire things from a karaoke machine to a pasta machine, equipment for kids' birthday parties.
So is this to help people in the community that can't afford to buy things?
Yes, and to sort of try before you buy, entertainment for the kids in the holidays.
Is this Mount Isa?
Mount Gambier.
Oh, Mount Gambier. Sorry.
Mount Gambier,
that's okay. I got my mounts mixed up.
Your mounts mixed up.
He likes a good mount.
But that whole process there, I think, people are going back to, like we're talking about the opportunity shops, buying things secondhand, but it's that chance to sort of loan things out in the community.
Is it working?
It's had a great reaction. To get started with. They said, it's going really well. I mean, we were discussing off air, obviously, implications with, insurance, the longevity of things. A lot of things aren't made to be used that much. So that would be interesting to see how that goes. A lot of things we buy are only meant to be used once a year. Go back in the cupboard, but I think it's
a great initiative and it's proactive. Would you use something like that, Ted?
Well, maybe not a depilator, but perhaps something else. I don't know, make a waffle maker.
Yeah, well, I think it's a fantastic idea because a lot of those things you buy, like a karaoke machine for the kids, you use it twice and then it goes in the cupboard.
And it's gone. And I've done that before.
By your man.
We've had that with I've carried a chocolate fountain around from 4 different houses that I bought for one party.
Yes.
Wow.
That I've still got this chocolate fountain.
Those slushy machines, they cost you $300 or $400, maybe even more.
Yep.
And then you use it once and lend it out to everybody who breaks it anyway, and then you go, that's okay.
I had a donut maker. A donut maker, and it got further and further and further back in the gadget cupboard.
Maybe we are our own library of things at times.
Do you know what would be a great idea? No one's ever thought of this, I'm supposing, but you know how they do that clothes swap? There was people that used to take their clothes once a week and swap clothes with other people. I wonder if you do that with other stuff, like appliances and stuff around the house. cost of living. People can't afford a blender. If you don't need it, you swap it for a TV or a computer or something like that. I think it's sad that here in Australia, with the wealth that we've got, that people do need to swap and borrow and get councils to do things that we should be able to afford ourselves.
Freddie, it's like the Vincent Council no longer has a, bring out your old stuff.
Yeah.
No.
You've got to make an appointment. Now, the great thing about that bring out your
is the
dead,
same.
people would go round and they'd pick it up and they'd pick it out.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
I love that lounge you got from my front yard.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Good, yes.
It was fantastic. Oh, I
Thank
didn't
you
like
very
the rat
much.
in it, though.
Can I just say, we will be back very, very soon. We've got about four-week break, and we will do a special an extended bitchin' on The Voice. So we'd love to do that because I think it deserves a bit more time. So hopefully when we get back in September, we'll have some more information about The Voice. Ted will have to be there, of course, and on the Yes campaign. Look, thank you very much to Ted Bull, as always. Wonderful having you here. Jen Merrigan, haveagonews.com.au.
Absolutely.
New
Follow
edition.
us on Facebook, and our new edition will be out in next week.
Love it. I saw it at Midland Hospital, and there was a stack there, and everybody was taking it. So well done.
Brilliant.
And Sharon Atwood,
Thank you
you
very
are
much.
always brand etiquette.
Brand etiquette, that's
Well
me.
done, and thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Freddie.
And that is where we leave the show. Thank you very much. Can I just say, we do appreciate all our viewers in Melbourne who watch The Couch on C31. Thank you for watching us in Adelaide on C44. We're going to take 4 weeks off and we'll be back after that with a brand new season of The Couch. I hope you'll join us as well. Thank you to all our viewers on that wonderful network called Foxtel that watch us. They've supported us for over 10 years. They're a wonderful organisation. And thank you to 6PR who pay me my salary that I'm able to spend on this wonderful show we call The Couch, and a little bit to Westpac to pay the mortgage. Everybody's doing tough. Hang in there. Look after each other. And the biggest thing I've learnt in the last couple of months, be kind. Have a wonderful week. Thanks to all our crew. Have a wonderful 4 weeks. I'll catch you in Bali, and I'll see you soon on The Couch again. Ping and Pong will be there.
Good.
And so will all their friends as well. Thank you very much, Ted, and, for reminding me of that. Have a wonderful break, Australia, and we'll see you in 4 weeks.